We now consider one other step among all the steps necessary to produce a well-engineered cyber-physical system. And that step is verification. So, Pablo, what do you think of this verification validation stuff?
I think it's as stale as 1 week old broccoli, Eric. 1 week old broccoli has been sitting in the trash can. I mean, why do we need to do all of that stuff? You know that I hate paperwork, and I know plenty of projects that have failed in the past because of too much administrative work and not enough engineering. I don't have time for all of that. And look, I've already built this vehicle. It's a revolutionary drone capable of simulating reduced gravity conditions, and I didn't even do all the boring stuff.
Oh, yeah? So, I know your project. I'm very impressed by what you've done. You must have done something right, no matter what our discussion is. Can we review what you've done to be so successful?
Yeah, sure.
So, how did your story begin?
Well, remember that crazy CRG idea you discussed in class? Well, I took it and remodeled it in a way that I thought would make more sense. I still believe that my quadrotor is the better way of doing things.
And where do you stand now?
I finished my prototype and I have a whole equipment suite. The prototype itself and a complete digital twin of it in my computer. I also have multiple test benches which allow me to verify the kind of motor and propellers that I believe will do the job.
Did I hear the word verify?
Yes, why?
I think that you and I both agree on the meaning of the word, and you've effectively verified an element of your design. In the parlance of verification and validation, it's called unit testing. Was that boring?
No, not at all. I love doing these things.
So, by the way, what's that digital twin you just talked about?
Okay, so the digital twin is really my computer simulation. So it's got everything that the real system has. If you give me any mission, I can fly it in the simulator and check that the controller will do everything before I do the thing for real.
Oh, and have you done the zero-G maneuver yet?
Not yet. I need more airspace to do the real thing. But it's right there in the simulator. I'm waiting for a good spot to fly, but we've already done Martian gravity flights. They're a whole lot easier to fly on campus. And actually the simulator was really useful to validate my emergency mode.
What's that, emergency mode?
So the emergency mode is a special mode that triggers the quadrotor to stop and hover if something sketchy is going on. For example, I have some serious slippage with my belts, and sometimes that causes the machine to start flipping itself upside down.
Well, I think I call that a really good validation activity. And once again, we agree on the meaning of the word validation. Was that boring?
Well, not quite. In fact, the simulation was pretty necessary.
Can we now talk a little bit about the paper that you and I and our good friend John Hauser wrote together?
Oh yeah, I hated those reviewers. Some of the reviewers didn't even read the paper.
So what do you think of the reduced G maneuver stability analysis that we did together?
Well, it reminded me of one of these theoretical classes on control. My problem with these courses is that all of this analysis, I think, is useless unless you plan to apply the real thing.
I agree with you. So let's assume that we're going to fly this thing. What do you think of the stability analysis?
If you promise me that we'll push the product further, I'll rewrite the paper. I don't really see the inherent benefits.
Really? There are absolutely no use for the contents of the paper?
Well, nobody else has done it. And I guess if it makes me feel more comfortable that we have some sort of proof that the machine won't crap out, I'll be happy to do it.
Well, I guess maybe I pushed you a little bit in that direction, but I'm glad that you and I can find some use for this formal validation of ours.
Oh, is that what you call formal? I thought formal methods were just all that mathematical nonsense that only tells you if your design is flawed.
Well, that's not always true.
Well, I guess that this VMB stuff can be useful after all. I didn't realize I was already doing it.
That's the spirit.